Hey guys, Bryce Tubbs here. So I'm going to be talking today about the principle of moving the needle. Okay, so basically what I'm going to be breaking down is why it's not all about hard work. So a lot of people feel like when they're growing their accounting or their bookkeeping business that it's all about working hard. And the harder they work, the more money they're going to make. And that's just not necessarily true. Um, we're kind of going to break this thing down. So I just woke up probably about like 3 minutes ago. I was I was sleeping peacefully. Then all of a sudden, I got just an idea. I have to talk about this thing because a lot of people I know, even people when they first come into my program, they're thinking that they have to work super hard, to do all this, they have to work super hard. It's just not true. Especially when it comes to you trying to get to more like 20 grand or even 30 grand a month. Okay, so the reason why I even say it is because a lot of my students that are doing $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 per month work a lot less than the students who are doing more of like 1 grand, 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand, 5 grand. And oftentimes because of leverage. And we'll talk about, there's different mechanisms, different reasons why leverage is important. And we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But before we even do, if you want some help growing your business and you're ready to, stop trying to do it yourself, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you. And on that call, we're basically just going to look at your life, look at your business, and look at what your goals are. And if I think I can help you, I'll just outline the process of what that looks like and what it would be like for us to work together so you can accomplish that goal long term in the shortest time possible. For example, like James, I just found out yesterday, I thought he had a client that was paying him like, 6 grand a month. He said, no, dude, I was able to upgrade the client to pay me 10 grand a month. He has one client that pays him 10 grand a month, and he has a number of clients that are anywhere between like 500 to about, some are like 450, some are about 750, some are 800, right? And that happened within about 40 days of us working together, right? And it's all because he took the call. He didn't want to take the call. He even told me, he said, dude, I don't want to sign up for a program. Gave him an offer he couldn't refuse, or he didn't want to refuse, and now he makes anywhere between $10,000 to about $11,000 per month. And it took under 60 days for him to do so. So do it before you're ready, book the call. And anyway, back to the video. So just kind of going. So it's all about learning what moves the boat forward, what moves the needle forward towards success, and then doing the activities that push it forward for you every single day. For example, so in both my accounting firm and even my coaching business, right? Because I have two businesses. They're basically they're very similar, but there are slightly different activities that move the needle forward for both as far as marketing and sales. And let's talk about it. Okay, so number one. The biggest thing that most people don't have is a mechanism to get new attention and to get new people to know you exist. So one of the easiest things that I ever started doing inside of just both my accounting and my coaching business was finding ways that I can pay money for people to know I exist. So for example, on LinkedIn, on my accounting business, most of my accounting clients come from like LinkedIn and referrals at this point. But for LinkedIn, there's tools that we have where it just automatically goes out and it just goes and grabs new people who know I exist, and then it connects with them, and then it just builds like conversations over time. When it comes to my coaching business, I pay for advertising. And I don't just pay for advertising like where it's like, hey, buy my stuff. I generally pay for advertising where it's gonna build my audience over time. And a lot of people ask like why my Facebook group is growing so fast, right? Like we started it last April, and then by December it had 17,000 people inside of the Facebook group. And it's because I'm not afraid to like do things that most people won't do. Like I pay for YouTube ads, pay for Facebook ads, and then just tell people to, hey, sign up for my email list. Then inside my email list, I just tell people to go to my Facebook group, right? And it's just been really, really kind of cool to do that. But it's a leverage point. It's a point that most people aren't willing to do because most people just don't really believe in what they're doing that much. And yeah, it is expensive. Like, it is expensive. A lot of people say, hey, I just want to grow my accounting firm. I'm just going to pay money for ads. Like, okay, well, how much money do you have? One, to spend. Do you know how much money it costs for you to buy a customer? Two, when you do buy a customer, how much is your average customer paying you? If they're only paying you $150 a month or $200 a month, like ads are not going to work for you. You have to first work on the mechanism of pricing. Okay, and we'll talk about that mechanism in a couple minutes. But if your price is too low, advertising is just going to burn all your money and you're not going to be able to really like just grow long term. and it's gonna be really, really hard for you and very frustrating. Okay, so don't think that advertising is like this ultimate cop out. I know when I was starting, like there was a couple guys online that were talking about, advertising, Facebook advertising, YouTube advertising, Google advertising. If you can learn how to advertise, your business will just shoot to the moon. And it's like, no. I started the first time I tried to spend money in advertising, I spent about $1,500 in a month, and like I got zero. Like I got no calls, I got nothing, man. And it wasn't even like frustrating or anything. It was just like, dang, it's so easy for you to spend money and for there not to be returned, especially when you're advertising. That's why with all my students, like I don't, yeah, none of my students do any kind of like advertising. Like all the money, even the student that gets like 42 grand per month, he does not run Facebook ads or YouTube ads or Google ads. Like it's just literally just all the things I've been teaching inside of these videos in a very, very streamlined, very simplified way, because he is working with me inside of the mastermind program. Now, that's number one. You got to be able to go get new attention, right? So for me, I grow my audience by about 2,000 give or take people per month for the coaching business. And I grow my audience by about 500 to 1,000 people on the accounting side, right? Do I need to keep growing it like that? No, not really. At this point, all it is just following up with old people, and then just whenever they're ready to go, then we do a call and they kind of move. On this side, it's like, do I really need to go and get an extra 2,000 people per month? No. But my goals long term is that probably 2 years from now, we're going to be at, 12 times 1 plus 20, maybe about 32. We're going to be at 54,000 people inside of that Facebook group for accountants and bookkeepers. You get 54,000 people inside of a Facebook group. It's very hard not to do big numbers when you have that many people, right? Now, it's kind of an insight into just how I think about it, right? I don't operate on a needs kind of level. A lot of people are operating on like this needs, like, do you really need this? Do you really need this? Like, no, you don't need it. But that's a part of leverage. It's not that I need it, but you never know what the future holds. I might one day need to go make a big push, and if I just turned off everything and I didn't go and keep building my audience, or even building comfort with that audience, then you never know. I could need it, and then just need it, right? And then you gotta go into a panic mode. Like most people wait until they need something before they actually go and act, right? Like for example, sometimes people join the program. It's like they wait so long until they're like out of cash, and it's like, I can't help you if you're out of cash because your life is kind of like just going too far down. You have to be able to stabilize the ship first, and then when you're in a better place and you have some money coming in, or you have like some kind of stability in your finances, now you're in a place to start growing. But if you're on this downward spiral, it's really hard for you to stop that downward trend and then just jump up. It's just gonna be too much chaos, and a lot of people get overwhelmed when they do that. That's why I have like a very strict policy. Like whenever I talk about doing those calls with me, like if it's not a good time for someone, like even if they have $1 million in the bank, but like they just know, hey, I'm not really into building a business. I mean, like sometimes I'll turn people away. It's really about like finding a really good fit and someone who's like the right fit for this thing, right? Because think about it. For me, for every student that does really well, it gives me the ability to go and get more students, right? Because I can take screenshots of all their wins. I can talk to them, have conversations. They tell me about this stuff. I can then go and share this inside of a video. But if I just brought on 1 million students and 1 million clients in the coaching business where it's like it's not a good fit, it's just not a good fit and they don't really get results, then my program starts looking bad, and then news starts getting around that it's not a great program for people. So that's why we keep it small, we keep it very intimate, we keep it very streamlined so we can find people that can actually go and take this thing to 30 grand per month. And that's kind of the criteria I look for whenever I talk to somebody. But it all comes down to, that mechanism for attention and making sure I'm getting people who don't wait too long to get stuff working. Right? Number 2, okay? So after you gotten that new attention, you just filled up this queue of attention. Next, you need to start having conversations. So I have a really simple conversation flow. I use both in my accounting business and I use both in like my marketing coaching business. So the flow, all it does is just kind of identify where someone's pains and their problems are, and then just evaluates whether or not I actually want to work with that person. I think that person is going to be a good fit. then it's very easy for me to just invite them to a phone call. Now, this took me so long to refine. Okay, like I always tell you, I got started like 7 years ago, and even today, I'm still slightly refining it, just little by little. It hasn't changed much over the past like 3 or 4 years, but like just to find that flow, oh my gosh, it took so long. Because what used to happen was like I would have like these conversations with people, and I would just keep like messaging and asking about like different things, and I would never really ask them to get on the phone, and it would just be atrocious, atrocious. And then all I did was just start simplifying things and really asking for what I wanted while asking questions that moved the conversation and the relationship forward. And then people just started getting on the phone. It was really, really easy for me to get people on the phone. And, you know, so I always use the word easy. And it's not that it's like you don't do any work. Don't ever think that when I say easy, that means no work. Easy just means simple. It's not complicated. It's not like you have to use magic. It's not like you have to trick anybody. It's just like you know how to talk to people, and then the people who are in pain and who are in problems now, then you just take it one step further and you invite them to a call to see if you can help them. And it's been very, very great to kind of get these people, and it's just a really cool mechanism to go, because basically what it feels like is like all it feels like is you do step one, you just get new followers, and then you talk to the new followers, and some of those new followers are ready to go from day one and they just want your help now, right? But then step number three, leverage point number three, is what happens to the people that aren't quite ready to do anything with you yet, right? Maybe they don't trust you, they don't know you, they don't really know if you have their best interests at heart, they don't trust you, like all these random things, right? So you have to have a process to really warm them up. Okay, and in the marketing and in sales jargon, warming up just means the people know, like, and trust you. That means that they've seen your face. That means they know who you are, kind of on like a character level, right? They have to know that you're like someone who keeps their word, someone who's very open, someone who does what they say they're going to do, someone who is respectful, someone who is detail oriented, someone who is very loyal, someone who does not go and gossip about people online. Like, people are spying on you every single day. And if you don't maintain like a good kind of lifestyle, I'm not talking about like making like a facade image where it's like, you like going to like different things, and then you just like have like a separate profile where it's like you clean everything up and you're like this professional person every single. I'm not talking about like that. What I'm talking about is like making sure that you can integrate your life and what you like. So maybe, for example, you have children, or your mom, or even if you're a young man who loves sports, like you love playing like softball on the weekend, maybe you like playing baseball, maybe you like bowling, maybe you like going and shooting some baskets, right? Integrate that into your profile, so when these new people come, they can just start seeing your life and seeing who you are. You'd be so surprised how many people resonate with you just because can they just see things about themselves inside of you. In some cases, if like I talk to people and they're like, I have no experience, I just graduated from college, and they're like, no one's gonna take me seriously. It's like, no, it's not true. A lot of people will actually see themselves and their younger selves in you, and it's going to allow them to be able to resonate. For example, like I have these guitars, right? A lot of people will like go sign up for both my accounting and my mentorship program, just because like we have that key thing in common. Like we just both like music. I like looking at my guitar, so I connect with like people who are artists. Um, and yeah, it's a warm up process. Now, your warm up process needs to consist of three things. So you need to have like different types of, if you're going to be going the posting route, you need to have a post that shares value. Next thing, you need to have a post that talks about your story. Next thing, you need to have a post that asks like a question. Okay. Now, the value is just to educate them on how you can help them, and just kind of like give them a million different things that they aren't really aware that, exist. Like how to use QuickBooks a little bit better, how to tell if their accountant's doing a good job, how to know if they're doing the books right or if they're doing the books wrong themselves, XYZ, ABC, right? Story is really about you. Like, what's your story? There's a lot of different ways that you can write about your story, right? There's a difference between like a story told well and a story told bad, right? A story told bad is just like you're looking at all the negative parts of your life and reasons why you either aren't winning or where you want to be, or reasons why like you can't do what you want to do in life. Like that's a bad story. A good story is talking about your struggles, but talking about why your struggles have led to you being able to help people out today. right? And the more you can tell the story in a lot of different variations in different ways, it's very easy for you to be able to get people to like you and get people to trust you. Now, when I say like you, I don't mean that they have to want to like go and like to a restaurant and like vacation with you and your family. I don't mean like that. I mean they have to basically respect you. It's more about like an underlying level of respect when I say like, rather than like they just love you and they're like this follower and this fan like you're Taylor Swift and people are swooning in the audience. It's not like that. It's just a respect. Okay? And this is really important too for people who have like a high action threshold. That just means that like it takes a lot of trust and getting past their barriers and getting past their guards in order for them to want to work with you. Generally, if you can do that, like it's so easy to sell people if you have them go through like a warm-up process, because they just come onto the call and they're willing to pay pretty much any amount of money. It's very, very simple. Now, if you enjoy this video and you want some help going and growing your business, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below. Okay, again, I want to see you inside of the program. If it's not a good fit, I'm going to tell you, because I don't want to add like headaches and just stuff that just won't move the needle forward for my business. For my business, moving the needle forward is bringing on students that are in a position to win. And if you're not quite in a position to win, then I'm not going to invite you into the program. I'm not going to extend an invitation. But at the very least, you're going to know exactly what you need to do in order to go grow your business forward. But if you are ready, I'll make an offer. We're going to zoom through this thing together. We're going to get you to whatever your goal is, whether that's 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand per month, and we're going to make sure you do it in the shortest time period possible. So if that's you, go ahead and click on the link, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Have a great one.